My name is Father Ankido Sipo. I'm a professor of theology at JPCatholic, and I'm a Chaldean Catholic priest and monk. Chaldean Catholic Church is apostolic. It goes back to the apostles themselves. It's one of the Eastern Rites of the Catholic Church. Our homeland is Mesopotamia, present-day Iraq. We were evangelized by St. Thomas the Apostle, by a man that we call Mar-Adde, which is St. Jude, one of the apostles, and another man named Marmari, which scholars say is probably one of the 70 greater disciples mentioned in the Gospels. The evangelists kind of found a home, so to speak, in Mesopotamia, where we were already in contact with believing Jews. And so in that sense, we also have a very Jewish flavor to our church. One of the names for our church is also the Martyr Church, because we've been through so many persecutions of the church, from Persian Empire to the Islamic invasions and Islam even up until now. Jesus says, when they persecute you in one town, flee to the next. That's kind of been the mode of life for Christians for a long time. So our people in the Nineveh Plains, which is where my family is from, today many of them have had to flee to Erbil, which is in the north, and what they call Kurdistan. They're starting to come back into the villages. But nevertheless, there's this huge division and this huge migration of Christians away from their traditional villages and into other parts either of Iraq or of the Middle East and Jordan and these kinds of places, or in various Western countries, Australia, different parts of Europe. The United States has a huge population of Chaldean Christians. Christians in Iraq really live out the gospel message of offering their lives over to Christ, and in the way that Christ did it, by way of persecution and martyrdom. On a human level, it's very sad. On a spiritual level, it's that sadness that turns into joy when it's united to the suffering of Christ. Around the time JP Catholic began, we also opened up our seminary, and me and a few other guys were among the first seminarians, and we came straight to this school. I did my undergrad and my graduate level courses at JP Catholic. So JP Catholic has always had a very good, friendly relationship with the Chaldean Church in general by way of the seminary, and so we found a very good intellectual home in JP Catholic, and I think we really appreciate that. We've taken up John Paul II's call for Eastern Catholic monasteries to open up in the diaspora, to revitalize the monastic life in a place other than their homeland. Sons of the Covenant Chaldean Monastery is our local Chaldean monastery. We're 7 monks, including myself. I'm the abbot of the monastery, and I'm right now the only priest of the monastery. It's the only Chaldean monastery outside of Iraq. There's one monastery in Iraq right now in a village in Nineveh called Al-Qush. That is a very ancient monastery. We have a parish, St. John's Chaldean Catholic Church. It's out in El Cajon. The monks and we serve that parish in our various roles. I'm obviously the priest and the pastor there, and other monks will do different things at that parish. Somebody considering a vocation to a monastic life would be prepared to live a scheduled life, a life of obedience, a life of stability and study and work and prayer. Somebody considering a life to the priesthood would look at the service that he would offer to the church in terms of celebrating the sacraments, of counseling, of teaching, and of that kind of radical testimony to the life of Christ. Is what we'd call transcendentals, right? It's one of these attributes of God that goes beyond the world, but that we can kind of participate in. I think we're in the age where beauty will most easily re-evangelize the world, because the world that we live in now denies the objective truth. We can't convince them by truth statements because they don't believe in objective truth any longer.